viewers, and welcome back to the South Main Auto Channel. So I've come to the conclusion lately we've done a lot of diagnostic videos, and I realized that when we started this channel we did a lot of mechanical repairs too, and I haven't been doing a lot lately, and I don't really know why. Probably because the diagnostic stuff interests me a little bit more and it's always different. But for you guys who like the nuts and bolts type stuff, I've got a perfect candidate here. And I wasn't even going to record it, but the overwhelming feeling of guilt has gotten to me, and I feel that you guys need some hardcore full gorilla torches, air hammers, possibly some swearing. I don't know yet. So we've got this fine piece of equipment here, this F-150. I don't even know what year it is, maybe an 0 something, 04, 5, 6, somewhere's in there. Probably 4. There's no struts on it. Anyhow, torsion bar front end, it's got a 4.6 in it. The exhaust manifolds are ticking. The manifolds are rusty and crusty, and it looks like there's going to be some carnage. So what the heck, I'm way behind on my work anyways, so let's grab the camera, set me more behind, and hopefully you guys are going to be satisfied with this job, and maybe we'll learn something along the way. Granted, we've done a lot of videos on broken bolt extraction and whatnot. Hopefully we don't need to do another lesson on that with this truck. We're going to start over here on the passenger side. Now I've already gone ahead and removed the inner fender and tire, and it was at that point I decided to make a video. So they come out pretty easy. Just need a 5.5 millimeter socket, a couple bolts around the perimeter, off she comes. Of course you guys can see here the issue at hand. We got to take and just pop these bolts out here real quick, like it's got a little bit of crust on it. So we'll just take and spin them off real quick, and then we should be good to go. It is my habit when I'm doing these. Now this truck is getting new manifolds. The customer already knows that. So what I usually do on these to kind of expose what we're working on is we're going to break out Big Nasty. We just give her a little jingle. And what that does is you can see that huge clump of corrosion, that's gone. It breaks loose all this loose rust and crap like that. Because what we'll do is we'll come up here with a blow nozzle. We'll blast some of this stuff out of here. So once we get the manifold loose, we've got less crap likely to go into the cylinders. Now this actually looks in really good shape. So these should come out relatively easily. I guess I could always eat my words. Let me grab a blow nozzle and get this junk out of here. Squint your eyes. Well, we've got that all blown off. Everything looks good now. I'll get the torch. We'll come in, we'll get all silly. Take a look around. Boy, this truck is pretty crusty. Definitely have seen a lot worse. But Mrs. O just came out and said the lunch is ready.
Oh boy.
What's up, Mrs. O?
I forgot the salad. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty close.
Close. Why? So it's got green things in it?
Yeah, it's got green things in it. Is there any meat in there? Oh, is that shrimp? Mm-hmm. Is that a shrimp? Is that like a seafood thing? What do you call it? Seafood recipe shrimpas?
It's a semi-failed fried rice.
Oh, you failed?
It's not that great.
Oh, not great.
I didn't have all the ingredients I needed, so I wung it.
You just wung it? Is that like winging it? That's the past tense of winging?
No, it's the Chinese version of winging it.
Oh, you wung it. That's awesome. Alright guys, we are back in action. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of our way. Just want to hook the ABS. Very gently move these vacuum lines up there. Hopefully they'll stay. Give us a little more room. Dark glasses for the torch. Fire extinguisher, of course. And blow nozzle, because what better to put out a fire than a little bit of fresh air. So my intention is, or my habit has always been, to just take and cut the nuts off the studs there to give us some room, or to allow us, yeah, to give us some room to allow us to take and, you know, essentially, you know, pop the nut off, leave the stud, and then hopefully do the same thing on the bottom with what we can see. Can't see many of them suckers on this side. You know, get this manifold off, then get the studs out. Not too long on that one. Look out, little fella. Yeehaw. Make sure you don't smell anything burning other than skin. Oh, let's see. I don't think we got anything very hot, hopefully. And we should be able to, let me get a little hammer. Get a hammer and a bar, and we'll just come up on these nuts. These nuts. We'll just take and pop off those. Come up on these studs, I guess, and pop off these nuts. Come on, little guy. Let's see. Do that one. There's that one. That one. Starting to see the method here. If you spend too much time on the stud and you get the stud too hot, it's kind of hard to cut the nut off. So you almost got to kind of leave it. Come back to it. See if we can get in there. There we go. Over there, now we've got our 4 studs left, basically. I'll show you. You guys can see that. But we essentially just cut the, cut the nut off, left the stud and the threads. That should give us plenty to work with. Down here on this side, I'll show you kind of a close-up example here is what happens. So on that rear stud there, we can see, you can see how the rust builds up between the stud and the manifold. So I think if we air hammer this, let me show you. What will happen is these will actually pinch. It'll pinch that stud in there. And when, like, if you just try to turn the nut, then the stud will break, which usually isn't a big deal because usually there's enough shaft sticking out that you can get it out. But I think if we air hammer that, you'll see a bunch of rusting crap come out around that hole. That's why I always choose to kind of do it this way here. So let's rattle that a little, see what happens. All right, you see how it opened up that airspace? So now these studs should be loose once we get the manifold off. Get you guys out where you can see. Once we get this manifold off, then there'll be plenty of stud to grab a hold of. Manifold will be out of the way, be no worries. Now we've got to do the studs underneath. Get the manifold out. So on the lower bolts, it's a little more restricted, so we're going to go with a brazen tip, or welding tip, whatever you want to call it, on the torch, so we can get in there a little easier and get the cut the heads off without having to worry about getting that big cut head in there. And all I do is just get the bolt hot how I want it, and then just give her a little toot of oxygen, and off she comes. So hopefully that'll work. You guys can see, hopefully kind of difficult. You know, we're going to be shooting the ones underneath. Of course, I'll start with this front one. The one here by the motor mount, that's the hardest. I think these two on the rear cylinders there we can see from underneath. Hopefully, like I say, we'll start with that front one. Get our torch set up just right. Alright, I think I got it. Well, I got you guys way up there. I'm way down here. I picked the truck up. We'll try to get these bottom three now, hopefully, without casualties or too much burnt skin. Oh, where are we? Whoa, wrong hole. This is the hardest one to do, the second one back. Simply because you can't see it very well. Ow! Ow! Burnt chicken, baby! Come on. Alright, I think we're good. Good shape for the shape we're in. Man, I can't see the flat down. I think I lost my hat. Come on. Alright, need my hat on. Where we go? Let's see if I can give it the old classic reach around. There we go. Now we're talking. Well, we'll see how that one turned out at the end here. Hope I can reach this last one or not. There we go. I think we got her now. Stupid safety glasses. Yeah. Let's let it down and give her a little jingle jangle there with the air hammer. See if the pieces fall off. Check that. We'll do her up in the air here. Oh, where's my light? Where's my light, folks? Where is my light? Oh, maybe where I left it. It's typically where it always is. All right, well, I'm gonna reach up under here with the pry bar. It appears that I've got to get a few pieces off. And essentially it's gonna be just like we did from up top, except you can't see it. Just gotta get the nut halves off here. I realized you guys probably didn't see much when it was up in the air there. Probably at all, did you? I know where to put things. So hopefully we can see the manifold. Did we get that front bolt? Excuse me, fellas. Oh, we didn't. Still got the two, nut halves there on that front one. We'll sneak in there with our little hammer. We knock that right off. 1-2 barbecue. Well, come on there, little fella. There she goes. I think we almost got it. Look at that, huh? Light back here so we can see. Of course, we don't have the other half of the wide pipe unhooked, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit aggressive. Have to get a little mean with her. Let's see which way. Come on there a little bit. Pull that back. Oh, she's hot, hot. Oh man, that's hot. But now we can see what we have, which is no gasket remaining. But we have all of our studs almost intact. That one we got a little close on me. Nicked that one a little bit. But we've got plenty to work with now, and we're not working around the manifold, which is the best part, and that's what we were trying to achieve there. I should get more of a caveman type tool for this shit. Get these gaskets loose. I assume there's a gasket there. There she is. Now we're right down to the bare head. And it only takes a matter of minutes, as you can tell, to go in there and just cut all that stuff off. And that is why that is always, the method that I choose to use. Simply because it seems to just be quick. You know, screwing around with like them, bolt extractor things and stuff like that. Although that is one way that you can do it, is use the twist sockets, kind of beat them onto studs and all that stuff, assuming you don't have torches. But now we can see what's going on. Now we can see when we turn it, is this stud getting ready to snap in the head? Sometimes when you turn them on a manifold, it's like, it feels like it's going to break, but is it breaking the manifold like we demonstrated down here? Or is it breaking in the head? Whatnot, and what have you. We get some stud extractors. I have some here somewhere. Grab an 8mm. Grab a flexi ratchet. Grab a little straight ratchet. So first thing we'll do is we'll come in with a short ratchet and a little stud extractor here. So this has like 3 little cams in it. It cams onto the bolt, as you turn it one way or the next. Works in both directions. So we'll just stick that on there. Turn it. And these studs, as a general rule, come out nice and easy. That one's loose, I can tell. Sometimes when you get weld slag on them, they can be a little tricky. Get the stud extractor on there. So these all feel loose. Now this one, you gotta be careful with. But it came right out. That one's loose. That's one thing I do like about Fords. They usually don't give you a hard time, stud wise. Might have to do some white script action on some of these. Let me get a ratchet. we're cooking, people. There's one. Sometimes you gotta stick pliers on them and run them in the other direction, but that's one stud out. Alright, so there's 4. I don't know if these ones. Stud extractor, wiggle back. There's 5. Done so many of these stinking manifolds in my short little life. Imagine the guys at the Ford garage must do like a couple of these a day. I know our local Ford dealer, they just price people so high that they don't want to do them. Which I don't understand why, because even doing them like this, I can completely destroy the book time, you know, all day long. So basically now all the studs are out, manifolds are off. That is typically how it goes. I'm not gonna lie. Occasionally you'll get one that, you know, is like super rotted, like, you know, 10 times rustier than this truck. And it'll fight you. I think we did a video on it. I think it was a V10 we did. I had one that mopped the floor with me for a while, but you know, you just do what you gotta do. You get it out. But the torch method is my preferred method. I'm gonna we gotta plug these exhaust ports. I don't know if any of the valves are open. We'll plug it off, get its head cleaned off, get a new manifold ready, and then just go bang out the other side real quick. That side's a little different. There's a lot more crap in the way as far as recording. Plus, we've got the EGR tube over there. But again, that's no big deal. I just take torch, cut it off, and move on. We just got some rags here. We're gonna stuff in the exhaust ports. Hopefully. Jeez. If we get it in all the way. It's always been my problem. Let's see here. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna have to rip these in half, I guess. And this way here we can just come right across these, you know, ports without
Oh my God!
worrying about anything.
Can't be Eric O.
Oh great. We got paparazzi here now.
Hey guys, look who's here! We found him! We drove away from Hoboken.
He drives a Volkswagen, you have to excuse that guy. So occasionally we got the crazy YouTubers come in wearing our swag.
The dude with the SMA shirt.
But he drives a Volkswagen, so we've kind of got mixed emotions.
I love Euro trash. Love it.
Did you see the thing I put on Facebook? Did you see that? The lady with the driving
Yes, I did.
with
Yeah,
the, oh, dude,
I saw that.
Like that was not our exit. So we're you guys who don't follow us on Facebook, Mrs. O and I were coming back from Buffalo, and there's a lady in front of us with a Volvo like I don't know, 40, 60 something,
Yeah, yeah.
and her license plate said Euro trash. So she like got off the exit. I'm like trying to get Vanessa to get my phone to get a picture of it. I'll see if I can find it. I'll post a little picture right here.
It's too bad it wasn't a Volkswagen.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like that's so I would love to know the story behind.
Yeah, license plate.
Why?
She probably loves Euro trash.
Probably, but why would you get a Euro trash plate?
Right?
What's up, Mrs. O?
Why would you do that?
I don't know. God, it's so sweaty. The AC out here.
Maybe it's a joke, like her husband drives a V-Dub and she bought him.
Her husband probably drives like America.
Oh,
Toyota or
so
something.
he bought her the Euro trash plate.
Well, yeah, 'cause he got so pissed off about fixing it all the time. That's what I'm assuming. That's my assumption. So we're doing like a hardcore mechanical video here. Torches, burning skin.
Okay, huh?
Yeah. Feel it. ate Sparks for breakfast.
How's it going?
Good. Every stud's out. Bam. Alright, well there we go. We've got that surface cleaned off. I just use a regular cookie wheel. You gotta make sure you keep it flat. That is aluminum. If you get up on edge and you get all willy-nilly with it trying to get the gasket off, you could, you know, really do some damage. Now, these heads are already pitted pretty heavily where the gasket goes, but there's really nothing we can do about it. There, it looks like there's a little bit of salt buildup. So yeah, that's all salt crust. Salt even eats away the aluminum blocks here in upstate New York. It's kind of like a love-hate I got with salt, you know. It keeps my shop full pretty much year-round because everything keeps rusting. But my vehicles are not exempt from it, so what are you going to do? So now, what we need, as you all may know, fresh can of the good stuff. I'm taking this hose off the aluminum particles. There we go. Just like that, this side is ready for the new manifold, new studs, which we have. What else do it? What I'll do next, I'll take our new studs. I like to put a little bit of anti-seize on them. Let's get them all started. Ah, crap, biscuit. So we'll get a new stud now. Put a little anti-seize on it. We'll try again. We'll try a different hole. Feels like it started, but it's a little snug. Now these have a hex on the ends of them. They have a hex on the end of them. Probably like a 5.5 millimeter, something like that. That one started. They all feel a little snug here. Maybe they're the wrong thread. Then again, they are going into aluminum, so just kind of make your own threads, right? So I'll get all these started and then we'll buzz them in there with our little air ratchet. So these are actually a 5 millimeter, it appears. go. Make sure you go back and torque those to factory spec, of course. At this point, I've got to stop for a minute. I've actually got to go, the Volkswagen fella there, I've got to go do a wheel alignment for him. So when we get back, we'll stick this manifold on, we'll put the gasket on, naturally, in the manifold, and get this side done, and we'll do the other side real quick, assuming it goes well. We'll be out of here. Well, our alignment's done. We made it back alive. And I went ahead, I've taken our gasket, threw it up on there, and we've got our aftermarket manifold. Now I will warn you, with aftermarket manifolds, I went and diagnosed one for another shop. They put manifolds on a Ford truck, got done. The truck had a single cylinder miss. Of course, they shot the parts can at it, you know, plug, coil, I don't know what else they did. They did some stuff because logic didn't set in with them very quickly, I guess. At any rate, they put an exhaust manifold on it. Now it skips. And like I say, threw parts can in it. I got a call, I went and looked at it, checked it out. That cylinder had an insane amount of exhaust back pressure. And it's because the casting inside the brand new manifold they put on was plugged. So, with that being said, shine a flashlight in these manifolds. These aftermarket manifolds are absolute garbage, the way they're built. Even when I looked in this one, this hole right here is probably like, you know, 7/8 of the way open. You can see casting, you know, slag, I guess it would be. In this case, I could reach through here with a pry bar and just, you know, bust it loose and, you know, open that up a little bit more so she can breathe. But I don't know if OEM manifolds are like that, but nobody can afford to buy those, so we're forced to use these Chinese knockoffs here because you could get like, you know, 10 of these for a nickel. So we'll slip this down in, hopefully, while holding our gasket. It's a whole lot easier when you've got the other side of the Y pipe loose, which we may have to do. I don't know yet. Let's see if we can rotate it. Usually about the time I do this, the gasket falls off. I should just go cut the other side loose, being that we're going to go over there. Now let me get my flange lined up here. So I'm not fighting two things. There we go. Come on. Oh, what do we got? Oh, guy. I'm gonna have to go cut the other side loose. I don't feel like fighting it. Let me go torch the other bolts off on the other side. Being that we're gonna be over there anyways, and that should relieve our Y pipe. So once you cut the other side loose, you can stick that up on relatively easily. Now we'll just get these nuts back on. Of course, we've already got our flange lined up over here. We won't tighten that flange until we're done with the other side. So we don't have to wrestle with that over there. And we'll get these tightened down to factory specs. As always, a couple of these are a little more difficult to get to than others. But not near as bad as the new body style Fords. Those are quite a bit trickier. I think Brian, Ford Tecamuca Loco, I think that's how you pronounce that. I think he has done some on the later model Fords with the coil spring that is in the way of everything. Those ones I jack the engine up. I don't think he does, but I do. And it could be the difference of working with or without a lift. I don't know. He seemed to do the ones that I watch him do pretty effortlessly. Of course, being a Ford guy, I'm sure he's found some tricks and tips on those. There's that one. We've got one more under here. Oh, drop window. Oh, smokes. Never been interrupted so much. I think I say that on every video. You guys are gonna think I'm liars. And here comes somebody else. They turn around, Hannah, or what are they doing? Nope. Lovely. Absolutely. Lovely. Alright, little guy. Like a whole biker gang?
Only 2.
Oh. I was gonna have you get the gun, but I think we're alright. We can handle 2 of them, Hannah. Unless they brought guns. What do you think of some YouTubers? We don't work on motorcycles. So anyhow, we're gonna go through and get these. Did we miss this one? I didn't pay attention. We must have. So we'll get these torqued to factory specs here pretty quickly. Because we've only got like an hour, so we gotta get the other side finished. And we totally missed this one.
Yeah, we took the other train up here. Well, up to Virginia, we were going up to Phoenix, so I'll just stop by and say hi.
What's that one? It does sound like some YouTubers.
Yep.
Some YouTubers?
Yep.
Where are they from?
Florida.
Florida. Wow. This is like the video interaction. It'll be just a minute. We're torquing the spec over here right now.
We drove up from Florida to see you.
All the way from Florida, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're live right now with a YouTube video, you know, if you want to be a superstar.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, Rob, look, he's doing a YouTube video right now, Rob. That's my brother's dream, is to be in one of your videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not one of my dreams.
Oh, now you just hit me right in the feels, man.
I love your videos. I give you my favorites. But, that's not a dream.
Not a dream, wow. Look at that. All the way from Florida, does he want to be on camera? Well, let's see here. What the thunder. Well, I can't find it there, guy. That's my first day. There we go. There, got them all torqued to spec. All the way from Florida. Wow, we just had a couple visitors on their motorcycles. Rob and Dwayne, I think. Rob and Dwayne. I know the guy's name was Rob. Looked them up with some SMA swag. And they're on their way to Canada now on their bikes. So I'm just going back through because I can't remember where we left off or if we tightened all these. The spec. Do you remember, Hannah?
Nope. Says answering the phone.
Oh, okay. I think we did. No, 100%. Yeah, now I remember because I couldn't find this one. Well, I gotta try to get back in the swing of things here, guys. Big time constraint now. So we've got the EGR tube over here, which you can't see because this little fella is in the way. But we've got our EGR tube that runs down, hooks to the manifold, and it is just a crusty, clumpy turd of a mess. So we'll take and cut that off, and then naturally I'm just gonna go through, just like we did the other side, and just trim those nuts. Which ones? These nuts. Right here. Cut them right off, just like we did. I put the cutter head back on. This side does give us a little more room, so we'll come through, just top and bottom. Top and bottom there. The dipstick looks like it has possibly been replaced on this. That's one thing I keep in mind. Usually when these manifolds are crap, the bikes getting ready to head out. Usually the dipstick tube is also garbage. So I'm just gonna go through, cut them off. We'll kick the camera back on. I gotta kind of move it out of my way. So I might leave it on, but you won't see much. How's that? Here we go. ones down there, see how many we got left. I'll finish torching them off. Man, you sure this I got a beard left? I don't know. It stinks. Oh, like something fierce. Then I'm going to finish torching them off. And pretty much the same thing we did over there. We have a winner. That's toasty. Oh, she's warm. Let's see what way does this one go. That's so hot. I should get a glove. What way does this manifold come out, Hannah?
That way?
Ah, it's like a potato. So we'll reach in here, get our gaskets off this side, essentially do the same thing that we did on the other side. It's my MO. What time is it? And we got time before 5 o'clock. This fella's gonna be here.
Yeah, now.
Got 1 hour. I think that's what I told him a little bit ago. Now I look like a liar, Hannah. So we got what, half hour? Half hour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. So these studs are coming right loose also. Did I say that? I don't know if you guys can see what's going on. This is kind of tight to do recording on, but we started and we can't stop. Oh, well, this sucks. The EGR tube we got is wrong. The one we have, we ordered down at the parts store, and I went to just make sure. I see this one had a, like a flare nut, kind of like a giant brake line, and the one we had two big nuts to go, two female halves. So I went in and just looked it up myself, and sure as heck, it's for the 5.4 liter and not the 4.6. And apparently aftermarket, they don't make it for the 03, they make it for the 02. And anyhow, that just put us behind. I'm gonna put the gasket in there first on this model. So that's where we're at. Had to get it from Ford. So now it's tomorrow. Hopefully. Is that for me? Oh, you got that look on your face. See that stuff. Can't see that stuff, Hannah. So on this side, because of the design of the gasket and the dipstick tube, you have to put, if you're using a one-piece gasket, you have to kind of slip it in first because it goes behind the dipstick tube. Now, I suppose if you got this far and you had all your studs in and you didn't want to take them out, you could always just cut your gasket in half, and it really won't matter because I think, I can't recall, but I think some of the OEM gaskets were two-piece. I may be way wrong, but I've seen, two-piece or gaskets where they're just, per cylinder. But quite often you see these in, two-piece gaskets. Let's see if we can get these studs in. We'll get this manifold on, get her torqued down. Well, that, folks, is that. We are stuck waiting on this EGR tube, and it's actually quite easy to change. It goes to the EGR valve, believe it or not. And you've seen the two hoses that hook to it that go to the DPFE sensor. It just screws back to the manifold. I did get an OEM one right from Ford. I don't want to take the chance of any aftermarket one not fitting 100%. So that's the route I took. But again, tomorrow, truck's done. I didn't even start it yet. It's going to be loud. There's no sense in really even doing anything because it's got a big 1-inch gaping hole in the left side manifold. So we can't even tell if we did a good job on the rest of it. But I've done a lot of these, done enough of them to know that we probably did a good job. 98% chance. We'll always leave that little variable. And that's it. There's not much more I can say. It's a couple people have asked me, my methods on changing exhaust manifolds, what I do. That's just one of them. On this one was still pretty clean, pretty nice. Certainly could have gone in there with some, the twist sockets, or I guess what some people refer to as like turbo sockets or whatever that just grip like rusty, crappy bolts. These ones, what would have happened, in my experience, is the nut would have jammed up or was rusted right fast to the stud, and then the whole stud would have backed out, which would have been good. On the exception of the driver's side or the passenger side, where we showed right in the beginning where that rust had bonded that right in that manifold, that one likely would have just broke. It probably would have broke flush with the manifold, got the manifold off, and you'd have been left with a 1/4 inch stud sticking out. You could have probably spun out with your fingers at that point. Other than that, this was pretty textbook. Like I say, it's super easy to beat the book time on these, even using the torch and stuff like that. Of course, you got to be careful using the torch. You can't go just willy-nilly lighting this thing on fire. There are vacuum lines for the 4-wheel drive and CV boots and stuff like that. So you kind of got to know where those things are as far as what way you're going to direct your flame and your sparks and the falling lava hot debris. And that's it. So I hope you guys liked and enjoyed your nuts and bolts video. It kind of took a lot longer today than it should have. A ton of interruptions. Had quite a few people stopping in. Had to, we worked on a Chevy truck over there doing ball joints. Had to stop, go doing a wheel alignment. But that's just the way it is. Usually I'll have one big project for the day and 4 or 5 other smaller projects plus drive-ins and things like that. So sometimes these big projects get derailed a little with some other happenings here at the SMA. So that's it. Facebook, Google+. Check us out there and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Our channel is growing rapidly, and it's all because of you, the subscribers, and we appreciate that, and keeps you guys up to date with our publications we roll out of here each and every week. Try to do multiple times a week as time allows. And as things roll in that I think are interesting, I try to record for you guys. So if there's something that you want to see specifically, to a certain degree, leave it in the comments. Or you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the comments also. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.